So today we're going to be talking about the plank and why we here at Melbourne Strength Culture value the plank so highly throughout our coaching progressions, and why we believe that it is mostly an underrated and underused exercise throughout the strength and conditioning industry. Unfortunately, planks cop a bad rap, and that is mainly because they are single planar, meaning they really only work the sagittal plane, the anterior core or the anti-extension muscles. They're also seen as quite easy to perform, being in that isometric, they're not dynamic, and then also because they quite often get labeled as a non-functional movement because you're lying prone on the floor in a position that we're not really finding ourselves in day-to-day lives. However, we here at Melbourne Strength Culture really rate the plank as one of the best teaching tools, and today that is what we're going to go over. So our coaching style here at Melbourne Strength Culture is very context driven, and by that what I mean is that we start with drills for our athletes that are quite easy to grasp and very non-specific to lifting. We then transfer what we've taught through that drill and the context that we've built through that drill and transfer that into more specific drills for lifting purposes. So we have a two-step process here of teaching individual athletes how to hold and maintain a neutral pelvis for lifting. Our first step for that is the 90-90 hip lift, which I've gone over in multiple videos throughout this YouTube channel. And then our second step for us is the standard plank. The plank for us teaches our athletes how to transfer what they've learned from the 90-90 hip lift and then put that into a loaded position, being the plank itself. So they now have to learn to hold and control their extension bias by maintaining a neutral pelvis throughout a full contraction of the obliques and rectus abdominis. Not only that, we are now teaching our clients how to hold and maintain their neutral position whilst breathing in through their nose and out through their mouth. And this all occurs through a loaded position in the plank. And that is why it is so fantastic for us as a teaching tool and as a context builder that they can then take from the plank and utilize through heavy barbell lifting. So the way we coach a plank here at Melbourne Strength Culture, in order to build context for the squat and to teach our athletes how to actually breathe into a stable and rigid core position, is first we set up our plank like any other normal plank, which is elbows underneath the shoulders, on your balls of your feet. From this position here though, we're going to try and get Charlie to reach himself away from the floor. So we're going to push his elbows through the floor and reach all the way up. This will open up the shoulder blades, it will drive the rib cage back, and it will force a stronger core contraction. From this position here, we're going to cue Charlie to pull his belt buckle up towards his chin. See how we've got this big round through the thoracic spine here, and then it levels out into a flatter, neutral lower back. That's what we're looking for. From this position here, I'm going to cue Charlie to breathe in through the nose, and then exhale through the mouth. And we're just going to cycle through those breaths. What we're really trying to enforce here is on the exhale that Charlie does not lose his position. So he doesn't exhale and then go floppy through his back, but he maintains his position and contracts through the obliques and the rectus abdominis. Once we have solidified and taught that position on the floor, we then transfer that into the barbell for a back squat. So we'll get Charlie to stand up. So I'll get Charlie to unrack that bar and step back from the rack. And then I will coach him to find the exact same position that we just did with the plank. So he's going to pull his rib cage down like he did when he reached, and then pull his belt buckle up underneath him. And this position here now represents what the plank actually did. He's going to maintain that position whilst he moves through his squat. We'll go through a few reps. So now we're seeing here that he's not overextending through his back or hyperextending through the lumbar spine as he comes down in the descent. And he's maintaining his pelvic position the entire time, all whilst holding a solid core position. The second benefit from breathing in the plank is we can also teach Charlie now how to create intra-abdominal pressure by breathing in through the nose, expanding exactly as we did with the plank, and maintaining that pressure whilst he moves through the movement. Awesome. So that is why we here at Melbourne Strength Culture believe the plank is the most underrated core exercise. We program it typically as an A2 in between the warm-up sets for heavy squatting and deadlifting, and this allows our athletes to build context for what we're trying to achieve through the heavier lifts. As always, thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe and share it with your friends who you think will benefit. Happy lifting, welcome to the culture. Thank you.
Done.